please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic?
Captain's Log, Subdates 231017.4. We've moved the Arcadia to a rather dense pocket of low IQ to shroud us from any probes that might be sent our way. While we're in process of moving, we should probably check up on the whole clearance for a new room thing to see whether I need to flog my crew any more than I already have.
Chris Chan or MLK?
Both have their pros and cons, both did a lot for the community. It's arguable of who did more for society. I think Chris Chan probably deserves to be in textbooks, and I don't think he's getting the love he deserves.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one is, this is interesting. Not the intended video either. I had something else in mind, a response video, but I'll save that for a Megon 2. Instead, we're doing, well, it is going to be a response video, but it's going to be a response video to a recent video put out by Chris Chan, who has made a semi-triumphant return? Sure, let's call it that. I'm trying hard not to laugh because I don't quite understand how events have unfolded the way they are to get Chris Chan not only out of prison, but Chris Chan back on YouTube. I swear this individual requires permanent supervised, release. They need to be under supervision for the rest of their life. They cannot be trusted and they are very easy to manipulate. If you are one of the very few people who doesn't know who Chris Chan is, there is a playlist by Gino Samuel, a comprehensive history on Chris Chan. Chris Chan is the internet's first real lolcow, longest reigning, longest ruling, and a celebrity, mostly in their mind, because they think the forums that they are, let's say, heavily featured on, along with their entire anatomy, means that they are in some way famous, everyone. Oh boy. They'll go down in the history books, no doubt of that, as being one of the reasons the internet might have been a mistake. I have also here covered Chris Chan, but I don't do it anywhere near as thoroughly as Gino has. And this, I'm sure, will, well, excite most people who have followed the lore of Chris Chan. I personally followed for a bit, watched the entire series from Gino, and then decided, you know what, I need something else because I know what's coming and I'm not looking forward to that. As in, Barb. On Twitter, today, so on October the 17th, 2023, Chris Chan was trending. I wasn't looking for this. I simply went to Twitter to see if I had any DMs to look at. But oh my life, this is interesting. So the first tweets I saw, Chris the Nut. Chris Chan's new video is unique. Said the song is dedicated to the toxic haters. Here we go again. There is a short clip of that video, but we're going to go through the actual video in a moment. Willie Mack had retweeted with, Chris Chan is back and definitely should not be allowed to live without proper supervision. He's still mentally a child, and if he's living alone, the state is failing him. Sticks, Hacks and Hammer. Insane and incestuous Chris Chan has unfortunately begun making content again. I have not watched the video, so I have no idea if it's NSFW. I'll watch it later to see the latest insanity. NSFW is not safe for work. Now with this, it's not just on YouTube Chris Chan has made a return. Chris Chan has also come back to Twitter, putting out the tweet, Second Coming with Ultimate Miracle, Rainbow Diamond, Chaos Control. Included are some various pictures of the, was that the amoebas? A comic image, the bed, and the legendary medallion. Of course, not the OG, we all know what happened to that. But this one does require a bit of work. I would highly recommend you reach out to a Games Workshop style painter who can use some green stuff and give it the love that it requires, so that you, with your Second Coming with Ultimate Miracle, Rainbow Diamond, Chaos Control, can get your dimensional merge thing off the ground. I believe that was something touted often with the delusions, that we would do that so we could all live as Sonachus or Rose-Chews. I already have a cartoon form, so do forgive me if I don't want to have a merge from two separate dimensions that would turn me into something that looks like it was slapped by people who have stuck crayons up their nose and never bothered to pull them out. On the Quickville Guardian YouTube channel, which is Chris Chan's YouTube channel, the video currently has 125,000 views, 6.8k upvotes and 4.5k downvotes. So when I said it was a bit of a success, as many views as I get in half a month and more likes than dislikes, at least for the time being. The comments, well, we can certainly go through that, can't we, before we even play the video. Imagine you're on your death. You look at your family, make one last warm smile and close your eyes. You begin to fade away and then it all fades to black. You open your eyes and this is what you see. We've made it, guys. We've made it to the worst possible ending for humanity. We're all responsible for this. We deserve this. Congratulations. Born too late to explore the world. Born too early to explore space. Born just in time to see Christian come back. We deserve this. Christery will never end. It is the gift that keeps on giving. And when the world needed him least, he returned. And God wept. This feels like something you'll find on an unlabeled VHS tape. This is like watching a beloved character from your favourite childhood sitcom grow up to be a burnt out hollow shell of their old self. I'll read one more. It's always a coin flip when an artist breaks away from their band and tries to go solo. RIP Christian and the Sonotube Boys. To the video, I guess. And the haters that this is addressed to?
This is the boss, and I'm sick of waiting. Get your crap together and stop following those twerps.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This build-up is quite something. I'm expecting a sick beat, maybe some dancing. I have no idea what's going on, just to be clear. I never do when it concerns Christian. I never understand, because, again, Christian is a tautology. Christian is what Christian is.
Prepare for stupid. Make it lucid. Prepare for stupid. Make it lucid.
Yes, Christian is about to start singing, everyone. It is quite spectacular. Obviously, I don't know if I can get away with playing the audio part because there's some background music. So I'm going to instead play the video now as you see it and speak over it. Christian puts on quite the performance here, whether that be the I'm looking down my nose to read the script, the dance moves, the multiple different voices used. One of those might well be Chris's natural voice, as opposed to the intentionally forced higher pitch that is frequently used. There was a lyric further into the song that caught my attention because a lot of this just sounded like words that rhymed as opposed to something that would make sense, which is quite typical of Christian's thought process. Less about the meaning and more about simple structure. The lyric I'll play because it's intriguing.
We epic fail and land in jail.
Then I get you out on Trump's like a veil.
So according to the video description, glory be to all who are light-powered, good, righteous, and neutrals with the ability to be good. There is only good remaining on this earth, in this universe, and timeline as we survive and continue onward in the light-powered glory. The worst of toxic sinners are left behind and gone. Now we redeem the remainder of the minority who remain. All is and shall be good with the ultimate miracle, and the dimension merges completion. Let your auras and chakras be aligned and heal. This sounds like it belongs in power metal. Music used: Pokemon, Viridian City, and Double Trouble, so I definitely won't play those. But it says here, thank you and bless you all, be safe and well, Mrs. Jesus, Christine, Western Chandler, Sonotube Prime. I'm also quite fond of the fact that you have been taught to use more advanced programs for video editing and then some. That's fantastic. I keenly await further masterpieces in the future. But there is a second bit to this video, and that's the part we need to move on to after we quickly just talk about this lyric. The epic fail and land in jail. Then I get you out on Trump's lack of bail. Okay, epic fail landed you in jail. Reminds me of Ian Watkins and his mega lols remarks. He then went on to nonce infants. I say reminds me of course, it's not remotely comparable. It's just something, an observation, let's call it that. And Trump's lack of bail? Weren't you held for a few years? Were you expecting the farms to bail you out sooner? I'm kind of curious here. It's an interesting lyric because you use it more than once. You know, the epic fail lands you in jail multiple times in the first song. And then you do all these little skitty voices for Team Rocket, failing at literally everything they tried to do. I guess we should move on to the second song, shouldn't we? And if anyone notices the audio is coming out of one side to the other, on Christian's video anyway, it's because while Christian has improved visually, it can't be denied visually the video looks better than older videos. The audio quality is as Christian as it can get.
Yay and merrily to everyone. Welcome to this. That song you just heard, that
was dedicated to all the lingering and lost toxic haters, fakers, and darkest sinners that came from the 1218 half of our Earth that has been bugging us for the longest of time.
Is this the part where I respond to you by listing almost everything you did that they are as much responsible for as you are for doing it? Because you did a number of things on the side and then got found by the haters doing these rather silly, dodgy things. Let's not forget here, because of your lack of emotional maturity and lack of interpersonal skills, you walked around shopping malls harassing people, hanging up signs to find yourself a partner, or the campaign of dislike, let's call it that, towards certain individuals at colleges, game-related stores. You even put your own address online, didn't you? Wasn't that you? I like this idea, this rather naive idea that Chris Chan is presenting right now, that Chris Chan, coming back to the internet triumphantly, of course, is going to be free from the haters and all their hateful toxicity. You're not. They are watching you like a... You've been trending a number of times recently, and I was looking forward to making a video at the end of the year because of it, but I feel this has to be said because... Yeah, no, you're still weird, and they're going to follow you for as long as you're still weird, because you're Chris Chan, and that's enough of a reason. You're, well, I thought your name was Christine Weston Chandler. Your newer, longer title of Mrs. Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu Prime is, hardly going to dissuade.
And why are they still lingering? You're not supposed to be doing that. Come on, get out of the picture already. You're long gone. Anyway, yes. With the ultimate miracle chaos control, I ascend and make my return to the internet in all that is good and well-being.
Shouldn't you be wearing a crown for this? I feel like you should be wearing a crown. Maybe a scepter of truth, an orb of faith, another scepter with knowledge, rather limited knowledge I might add. Shouldn't your medallion be glowing as you prepare to ascend? Or is this like the Epsilon program? Should we give you money and just be like, Kiflam, brother?
I am divine and connected to everything, and I know and not know at the same time.
Oh, so it's exactly like the Epsilon program then. Kiflam, brother.
Between the consciousness, the subconsciousness, and the unconsciousness. I know all. I see all. I foreknow all. I've been there, done that. Everything.
Did you get a t-shirt as well? Because I hear if you sign up for certain programs, you might well receive a uniform. But also, is that remark not also contradictory? Because if you know all, then you can't not know all. Yet you've already said you know and don't know, which means you are now contradicting yourself within a sentence to indicate you are removed from the knowing and not knowing. So I now have to ask, how can you know for certain you are Mrs. Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu Prime, when you also simultaneously cannot know this? And no lie, I genuinely thought you were filming this in an internet cafe, because I figured there was no way you'd be allowed back into your old house. And since it's full of crap, I can't imagine you have the space for it. Apparently I might be wrong with this one.
So now, with that, we're still amidst our Dimension Merge completion and the moment of Futurast. As you shall learn shortly enough with the events that happened back in late February 2006. But for now, we are on the road.
I'm guessing there are no bail conditions then, no charges, no supervision, which is quite the unfortunate thing, because I do believe, like Willie Mack, you do need to be looked after. No offense intended to you, Chris Chan, I do not believe it right that you be just free to roam, because you are a danger mostly to yourself. And the fact your delusions are clearly manifesting even after prison is a statement of how unwilling you might be to therapy, but also a lack of resources available to help you improve. Yeah, I'm not always going to be a dickhead with my responses. I just want to be half the time, okay? Now, Chris Chan does have a second song, and that is what you now see on the screen. It is quite strange about going on the road mostly. I don't know if that means Chris Chan is going to be going places, but since there's reference to the dimensional merge, I'm more inclined to believe it's going to be eyes closed, imagining one is in that place. There is one lyric that was quite ear-splitting. Yes, I'm going to play it.
I got a badge and the power to zap it!
You're all welcome. And Chris Chan finishes with the following message.
Perfect. So yeah, I'm back. I'm proud. I'm more motivated. I got the boundaries set. So, later haters, fakers, y'all gone. We're sticking with good, positivity, light power, and righteousness.
I'm going to assume this won't last long because most that have been very critical of Chris or have been involved in Chris's life through forms of trolling have done a fantastic job proving that it doesn't take long, much like an Amberlin Reed cycle, to simply break Chris and have Chris do something stupid again. There is still a nagging issue in my brain, and that concerns the incident with Barb, and that's because I don't really understand how this unfolded the way it did. I really don't, in the sense of how Chris got released. That was a bit strange. But I do intend to go and do a little dive on that later on in the year. We're in October, so next month, and see about presenting a end of year look at into Chris Chan. I'm not going to say welcome back, Chris, because you're alleged to have diddled your mother. There is no respect from me.